Welcome to the second Amazing Race 26 recap episode of the You Are Team Number podcast. My name is Michael Harmstone, and joining me is one Canadian who isn't used to wearing hockey skates, Logan Saunders.
Hello.
Hello. And the Australian who would never puke up a noodle, Ben Powell.
Howdy.
There really wasn't much material for the intro this week. As with all our shows, we're live for the next hour and a bit, so please get in contact with us if you've got any comments on the episode. If you're watching on Google+, you can use the Q&A. If you're watching on YouTube, you can post comments underneath the video. And, of course, you can tweet us using the hashtag yatncast, which you can see when Ben or I speak.
That thing.
Yeah, that thing somewhere down there-ish, I think, maybe.
Ian was supposed to be on this podcast, too.
Who was?
Yeah, he ended up taking a selfie right before. Completely missed this podcast, so apologies to the viewers who were expecting Eamon for this episode.
Yeah, he was. He was too busy having a selfie fail. On the subject of those selfies, they got me into trouble with my family. Because at about 9 o'clock my time on Friday night, I got a message on Google Plus off my mum saying, "Looking good, dude." So that was awkward. So thanks for that suggestion, Logan.
Yeah, that was a real Colby Donaldson moment.
Hey, baby. And we're 3 minutes in and we've already referenced Colby Donaldson. I'm proud. I'm so proud. So, previously on The Amazing Race, 6 couples and 10 singles faced Muddy Mayhem and Surprise Revelations. Jeff and Bracky pulled ahead. Mike and Rochelle U-turned Jeff and Lyda to stay in the game. Blind Date teams led by Jane Larney and Jenny ruled. Libby and CJ were overwhelmed, but Jeff and Lyda were the first team eliminated.
Wah wah.
Wah wah. It was a devastating loss to us all.
I'm still in mourning. 48 hours is not enough time to pay respects to the fallen.
It's not, but we have to move on to one of the better instances of unintentional hilarity in Amazing Race history, and another pretty boring episode. For the record. But, on the plus side, I was correct in my prediction last episode. We got all the departure times. Yay!
Whoa.
That's one positive.
And we didn't have to hear about the Express Pass.
Yay! Because there's no strategy in it. They just have to use it when they're behind. Yay! So there are some positives to this season. So we had Jelani and Jenny leaving at 5:30 a.m. and finding out they had to take a bullet train to Nagano, Japan, and find Matsushiro Castle to find their next clue. And then it was Jeff and Bracky 3 minutes behind, Laura and Tyler at 5:45, Ali and Steve at 6:14, Holly and Jonathan at 6:52, Bergen and Kurt, hashtag Team Manbraid, at 7:10, Mike and Michelle at 7:15, Blair and Haley at 7:33, Matt and Ashley at 7:36, and Libby and CJ with a nearly hour gap between them and Matt and Ashley at 8:20 a.m.
You skipped over the cubicle hotel.
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous. For want of a better term.
Yeah, I was expecting to find Dwight K. Schrute from The Office sleeping in there too, because he always sleeps in a cubicle as well.
Despite the fact he has a farm.
Yep.
Because I've just read your post.
I recognize the reference.
Yeah. So we had 5 bullet trains. It was the top 3 teams on the first, Ali and Steve on the second, Holly and Jonathan, Bergen and Kurt, and Mike and Rochelle on the third, Blair and Haley on the and Matt and Ashley on the 4th, and Livy and CJ on the 6th. Because, of course, they missed the train.
They missed the 5th?
Yes.
Maybe in interviews they'll plead the 5th to not answer about missing the 5th train.
I'd imagine that they would be quite a boring interview, because all her answers would just be, "I want a ring! I want a ring!"
Maybe they'll give her onion rings. And then this was an Olympic episode, and in the Olympics there are 5 golden rings, believe it or not. So, So there is still a ring theme to this. She can't complain.
And 4 calling birds.
Yeah, we're doing the 12 days of podcasting right now. Yeah, I don't really have too many notes. I'm surprised all the teams ran by the McDonald's, though. I figured one team would stop and eat at Japanese McDonald's.
Yeah, with the super happy mega Big Mac.
Yeah.
Because I would be very disappointed if I went to Japan and it wasn't stereotypical with the namings of McDonald's foods. So once teams got to the castle, they found the first roadblock of the race, which was who is more puzzling. I know it was, actually wasn't, but, you know, better clue than the one.
The biggest puzzle is Tyler's choice of sandals.
Yes, it is. I think they might have been given those sandals because there are a couple of interesting sandal choices. So in this roadblock, one team member must find a way to open a Japanese puzzle box to find the phrase required to pass samurais and find the next clue. And one of these clues would contain the first rose from Chris Harrison and a date night ticket. Yeah.
And we got hashtag who is the smartest dude.
Yeah. As opposed to episode 3 title, which is hashtag Murphy's Law. Which we will get into next week.
That's actually a good title, though.
Yeah, but what's the point of having it as a hashtag? Unless someone physically says hashtag Murphy's Law.
Maybe they're talking about Charlie Murphy's Law.
Yeah, maybe David Murphy's Law. The awkward proposal at a finale.
Yeah, see, CJ and Libby can go for that angle.
Yeah, at the finish line we'll just have CJ committing David Murphy's Law and just proposing awkwardly and her saying yes out of necessity. That'd be awesome. I would enjoy that so much. So it was Jeff, Jaylani, Tyler, Ali, Mike, Harley, Bergen, Ashley, Haley, and Libby who completed the roadblock. And the one note I have for this roadblock is the human unicorn thinks that the drumming of the roadblock is the energy of Japan. Yes, another ridiculous
power
phrase.
source.
Yeah. She's feeding off it.
One of my favorite aspects of the roadblock was when I think it was Kurt was not cheering on Bergen at all because but one aspect of that is they're obviously not getting along that well as a couple, but the other aspect is like if I was in the Amazing Race, I wouldn't want people cheering me on as well. I'd be like that'd be annoying. That goes after my heart.
I know that Bergen is one of the racers who has at least seen a little bit of our podcast, but it's blatantly obvious that they are not together after the race. I think we did call this in the preview, but they are not lasting. Because I'm pretty sure, looking at Bergen's Twitter feed, I've not seen a single post about him and Kurt that isn't about the Amazing Race. It's like, thank you for cheering me and Kurt on, but, we're blatantly not together, and his Instagram is of pictures of him with Harley and Jonathan, not with Kurt. Yes, I have been doing a bit of stalking today.
That's just disturbing.
Yeah. So once teams complete the roadblock, they had to head to Nishiguchi Zenkoji, good name, to find the next clue. And it was
a blind detour.
Yeah, a blind detour. Yay! Logan's favorite thing in the world. At least it wasn't
so contradictory. It was so contradictory. There was share or chair, and yet it was just chair was the one that involved physical activity, while share is the one that made you sit in a chair the whole time. That's so misleading.
Well, they both sat in a chair the whole time, though. Well, at least half the time.
For half the time. Half the time versus the whole time.
At least with this blind detour, we didn't get this or that, or left or right, like they did last season. At least you could kind of guess what share was, if you thought about it.
Yeah.
Whereas with this or that, it's just, here's two random tests that we know what one of them is going to be ridiculous and teams definitely aren't going to complete properly, but we just want to include it as a detour because it's hilarious visually.
They really have a problem with the actual detour balance this season because so far it's been one part of the detour has been really hard and the other's been like super easy.
Yeah, I mean, last season we commended them on the U-turns of picking the right leg to do it with a fairly balanced detour both times, but this really hasn't been great in terms of balance. It's like they just want to do stereotypical detours.
Creativity's running out of steam, it seems, I guess.
Yeah, bring on Canada, that's all I have to say. So as we mentioned, the blind detour is share or chair, and in share, teams must travel to a restaurant and feed each other a bowl of noodles using chopsticks. Whilst they eat, they would be faced with fans next to their heads, which is an obscure addition. Once the bowl is empty and the noodle Nazi ejects it, teams receive their next clue.
The Amazing Race 26, everyone!
In chair, teams travel to the M-Wave, Nagano's speed skating track from their Winter Olympics in 1996, and push each other on a chair and on a sled around the track, swapping out after a lap. Once 2 laps have been completed in 3 minutes 55 seconds, teams receive their next clue. Yay. I mean, obviously, chair was the better detour option from a television standpoint, because there is nothing more sexy than seeing someone vomit up some noodles.
It's like me eating all-you-can-eat sushi.
It's just...
H.P. Lovecraft was right.
Well, whilst it is a hilarious addition to the Amazing Race canon of me keeping this screenshot on file and continually using it when it's going to be funny, it was not a nice thing to see. And the noises were not pleasant, for want of a better term.
I think it reminded me of a mother bird feeding her young.
Regurgitating the food.
By
the way,
it really does.
The three fans in the picture, I think, are the only 3 fans of this season of The Amazing Race.
Zing! Did this remind you of anyone from, say, a season we've seen in the past year, Logan?
Like an Olympian? I mean, this is an Olympian leg.
Maybe it was. To be fair, this is what you get for uploading your thoughts on an episode, like, whilst me in bed are waiting for you. Because I prepared that.
Yes.
What I like about this season is like they actually have decent part, even for like half of the detail. They have decent parts of the country they haven't shown before. Like I haven't liked the sake, I haven't liked the noodle one because I don't really see the point in randomly adding something Japanese or Oriental to one episode just for the sake of it. I mean, who does that?
Just on the point of the sake, apparently the guy going through all the sake names was the same guy as the Japanese game show that they got to do last time and has appeared on Amazing Race 4 times as a clue giver now. It was just him in a wig, apparently.
We need him on this podcast.
Yeah, he has been in more episodes than probably most Amazing Race characters now. Which is ridiculous.
He's been in more episodes than Jeremy and Sandy?
Yeah, exactly. He has had more impact on Amazing Race than Purple, Jeff, and Lyda. Fact. So we had Rochelle taking a fall as well and injuring her hand off the sled, which, as Logan pointed out, as a roller derby girl, she probably should be taking hits a little bit better than that.
Indeed. And we also got the most boring Olympic lesson I think I've ever received in Amazing Race history.
You mean more boring than either Natalie and Megan or Andy and Tommy's efforts?
Yes, I think so. Hearing about the Nagano Olympics for about 3 or 4 minutes there was not exactly riveting television. All it tells me is that we should expect Allie and Steve to last a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm going to be the Allie and Steve cheerleader because I think that they came across quite well in their bio, especially Steve. But this added nothing to the episode. They
I like it, though.
He says He says he has a power beard, but then there's Mike in the episode with his wicked beard. There's no power in that beard.
No, he envies Hugh Jackman for his power beard growing abilities. I don't think he ever claimed that he had a power beard.
I see.
So get your facts straight, Logan. Wake up, Canada.
Yep.
Is all I have to say. So we have. What's that, Logan? What's that, Ben even say?
I have nothing to add to this conversation.
Okay. We also had Kurt not liking the noodles as well. Did you?
That
Yes.
was the most amount of conflict. That was the most amount of conflict that was coming out of that detour. So
It really was. So we had Laura and Tyler leaving the Detour, which is Cher in first, Jaylani and Jenny in second, and Ali and Steve not five-holing in third. Jeff and Bracky in fourth, Holly and Jonathan in fifth, Bergen and Kurt in sixth, Matt and Ashley in seventh. Mike and Rochelle left Cher in eighth as eating challenges are right up their alley. Blair and Haley left in ninth with absolutely no seconds to spare, and Livy and CJ left probably about 3 hours later in last. And it was then the pit stop already, which is Patio Diamond. The last team to check in here may be eliminated.
and then they checked in on the one with eliminated. The end.
Yeah, pretty much. Having said
Yeah,
this,
it's a 20-minute episode. It's like a 20-minute episode.
having said this, I know in Amazing Race 24 I mocked the breakfast in bed prize when they won a trip to London. This is the most ridiculous prize we've seen in Amazing Race for a long while. Who honestly
At least
cares?
in the American one.
Yeah, who honestly cares? A Fitbit fitness pack. Because
Hey,
obviously,
you're getting fresh food delivered to your doorstep. That's pretty cool. I mean, not as cool as like a catamaran or jet skis, but still.
What's a catamaran?
the jet ski is still one of my favourite prizes purely because of the reaction. It's like,
Yeah, we're not going to use those.
yeah, why would I want a jet ski? We live in land. So yes, it was a Fitbit fitness pack, including a personal chef for a year and the choice of a gym membership or groceries also for a year. And that was won yet again by Jaylani and Jenny.
I would choose the groceries.
Well,
That's an actual detour.
Yeah, you would obviously choose the groceries purely because if you play your cards right, you can make those groceries last longer than a year.
That's the most interesting part about this episode.
It really is.
So should we just like fill the next 20 minutes talking about the teams?
Yeah, so second was Laura and Tyler. Ali and Steve were in third. Fourth was Holly and Jonathan. Fifth was Bergen and Kurt. Jeff and Bracky in sixth. Matt and Ashley in seventh. Eighth was Mike and Michelle. Blair and Haley in ninth. And Livy and CJ were eliminated. The end.
The 10 and 10 Club.
Yeah! They join illustrious company.
Yanni and Nadine, Lisa and Jody.
Jen and Sean.
Yeah, that's Jen and Sean. Yeah, just complete legends. They're going to be number 25 on the next top 25 teams list.
I was going to
That's
say.
what I'm expecting.
I was going to say at least Livy and CJ will be above 25th place.
Yeah. Bye-bye, Lisa and Joni.
Despite the fact that their current their placement ranks them equal 260th place in US history, and equal, let's see, how far am I going down on this list? Very equal 577th place in Amazing Race history. And another team that also got sadly in a 10-team season though. Where's the Black family? Just saying. So
Okay,
yeah.
then.
All right.
So we're just gonna talk about the teams for the next 25 minutes.
Yeah, we better add really. So who do we think
Alright.
is going next week?
Curtin Bergen? Or as Bill Kogan likes to say, Curtin Bergen. or whatever their attempt at a German accent was.
I think it was only Japanese. A curtain burger.
It was definitely did not sound like Japanese to
Oh god,
me.
oh god, we're evolving into offensive accents. Where's Eamon when you need him?
Hey, we discussed it last week. We were discussing Rissa very caffrey. We won't know where to go. We won't know where to go, but onward from here.
Yeah. Do you remember the time when we were trying to convince Eamon to do an offensive accent each week? Ah, heady moments.
I wasn't on the podcast then, so.
Yeah, true. That was while you were still out in the podcasting wilderness, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I think I was in a different aspect of the podcasting world at that point.
Yeah, sure.
If you know what I mean.
Yatncast After Dark.
Okay then.
Yeah. Fun fact: before joining the main Yatncast roster, Ben hosted our sister show, the one that followed up on everything that we said. Fact.
And got like 10,000 more views.
Oh, shut up.
Hey, you're the one trying to.
Yeah,
hey,
I think
don't
Ben's
come for me. I can
got
go
us
for you.
there.
You win, whatever.
Have either of you ever played the Nagano Winter Games for the Nintendo 64?
I have not.
No.
Okay, it's terrible. I'm just trying to fill up time here. We're only 23 minutes into this podcast, and we're pretty much already done.
Yeah, we really are.
I think Jelani's new nickname is going to be Jelaze-Fair because he refers to himself as being laissez-faire. So I always just write down Jelaze-Fair in my notes from now on.
Yeah, I'll just set up my autocorrect to say Jelaze-Fair. Having said that,
Fun fact.
Yeah.
In US history, they are the first team in like 6 seasons to win both the first 2 legs.
They are. Who was the last team, Ben?
Since Dave and Rachel. Dave and Rachel.
It was indeed.
And in complete world history, it was Olympians,
It
other
was.
Olympians,
Yes,
female Olympians.
it was indeed hashtag Olympian Buke. Who were the
Natalie and Megan.
yes, the last team to achieve that.
I would say winning legs in Tokyo and Nagano is a bit more impressive than winning them in Victoria and Tofino, BC, which is a few hours from my house.
Yeah, Logan's just going to do the.
They also won them in China and Macau, or Hong Kong and Macau, or whatever. So
That was very impressive. Major kudos for that.
So yeah, what can we expect from Phuket next week?
we're going to discuss one team.
Blair and Haley.
Stop trying to push us along. Stop trying to push us along.
We gotta talk about Blair's breakdancing skills.
Yeah, we have, because obviously I screen capped this.
Yeah, let's see it. Let's see his breakdancing skills.
Let me just reopen this. Come on, there it is. There it is. Blair's smooth moves.
Yeah,
Blair's smooth.
that's how you win over the blind date. Haley talks about diarrhea, and he breaks out his breakdancing moves and talks in the most robotic voice I've ever heard in my life.
This was my close second choice for the banner.
Where did he get that hat from? I've been curious about that the whole episode. Did he get that from the second leg in The Amazing Race 25?
They had ridiculous hats and gloves for everyone at the chair detail.
Oh yeah, with the I Love New York toques as well. After Blair described his hatred for people from New York. Not quite the John Rocker sense, but he does dislike them.
I was very
Jeff
disappointed.
And Jackie had the bunny rabbit ears as well.
I was very disappointed with Libby and CJ's one, because that was in a press picture, and theirs was by far the most ridiculous one.
Yeah.
So I was very disappointed that I found out afterwards that we wouldn't get to see that picture, despite the fact it was released.
Anyway, who came second this leg?
Laura and Tyler. Or Team Human Unicorn.
Horse and
Next.
unicorn.
They're so boring. I don't even care about them.
They just see dollar signs. Dollar signs and rainbows and unicorns.
I hope that Haley gives us that. See, she's so boring. I keep calling her the wrong name. That Laura gives us enough to actually talk about soon, because she had.
They're both boring. Don't just say Laura. I'm watching you.
Yeah, she had by far the most amount talked about in the preview. Somehow. I still don't know how. So yeah.
Because human unicorn or whatever.
Yeah, because she's basically a human unicorn.
Why can't we just call her a unicorn?
Yeah.
Team unicorn.
Unicorns and rainbows and all that sort of good
Like
stuff.
what else are we gonna have? Team
Sunshine and
unicorn?
lollipops.
Is there such thing as a lizard unicorn? I wonder.
No.
There's a liger.
So it's the.
So third place was the non-puking Olympians?
Yep, it was the puke-free Olympians.
Yeah.
After
I like
nearly
that.
running over that girl in the pink jacket.
Yep. Fourth was Team New Kid, as they call them.
Who are boring.
New
and
kids on the
what's his
walk?
face? Can't stop.
Yeah. Yes, the New Kids on the
talking
Block.
about- Oh, hey, I was on New Kids on the Block. I went here as part of New Kids on the Block. I remember with dance rehearsals for New Kids on the Block. I remember that song I did in New Kids on the Block.
It's blatant stunt casting. What else are they supposed to say?
I don't know. I like that. What's his face? Harley's, right? Who's the guy who isn't in New Kids on the Block?
Harley.
Part of the New Kids on the
Harley.
team. Harley, yeah. I like him admitting how short he was. That was funny.
He is probably less than 5 foot, I guess. He's borderline dwarf.
Well, that's a Hollywood personal trainer for you. Like, tiny. They're tiny people.
I can't wait to see their date night.
Yeah,
That's going to be riveting television.
at the hot springs.
Tune into that one, folks.
I actually dressed.
I want a team that doesn't get along to get to date night.
You mean like Blair and Haley?
Or Bergen and Kurt.
I just want a really awkward date night. Like the world's
Like I
most-
said,
yeah.
Bergen and Kurt.
Yeah, just awkward.
David and Mary.
Well, they're siblings. They used to anyway.
I've never been to a Japanese hot spring before. I've never been outside my old town before.
No, what would have been
Oh.
funnier is having this in a season with Jet and Cord or something.
Or Adam and Rebecca.
Yes, Adam. Yes, to Adam and Rebecca.
Sorry, Becca, I'm doing it with my mom now.
Rebecca, the food's too salty.
How about
And
Jonathan?
then Rebecca says, "So am I."
How about Jonathan and Victoria getting a date night? Straight in Berlin, preferably.
Yeah.
A three-way date night
Anyway.
with Joe Rogan.
No.
Do we have like any
Yes.
extended thoughts on any of the teams? Because like so far it's just been there.
Yeah, so far we've just been being mean about them. I think we pretty much think that Bergen and Kurt will probably go next because they're not getting along.
Mm.
I mean, obviously,
Another Blair and Haley.
yeah, but Blair and Haley are hilariously not getting along.
Well, Haley's not hilarious. Wait, Blair and Haley, that's their names, right? Haley, girl.
Yeah,
Why
Haley's
do they
the-
both have girl names?
I don't know.
Yeah, Haley's the one only being hilarious about it. Blair's just being a robotic douche about it. Sorry.
Yeah, but at least Blair elicits a reaction from you. Rather than the one note we have on Kurt is he doesn't like the noodles. And wasn't supportive of his partner.
Noodle Nazi.
Yeah.
That's because he didn't want. That's because cheering is annoying.
Oh my god, Timmy! Is that what I'm saying, Jerry?
You skipped over Matt's repetitive statement of the week.
And repeat it for us again, Logan.
He was on the skates doing the rink task in the Detour, and last week he said, we got it, as he was slightly scampering on the skates there as he was avoiding trying to fall. Or trying to avoid falling, I should say. Scratch that, reverse it.
Flip reverse. At least next week we get to see loads and loads and loads of pratfalls, because we get water skiing! Yay! I'm quite looking forward to that task, purely because we are going to get some good screen caps, I suspect. Because people falling over is always funny.
Especially if they're old people.
Especially
Yes.
if it's older females.
There we are, Survivor Historians joke.
Older females falling is Montana's favorite pastime.
It certainly is. Especially when they don't have car dealerships.
Anyway, Mike Rochelle. I think the one thing I've got from Mike Rochelle is I'm pretty sure, it's a bit subtle, but I think I got it. I don't think Rochelle has introduced her kid to Mike yet.
Yeah, I like the fact that they repeated that clip word for word from episode 1. That was
Something they're not looking too hot. I mean, they're probably not going to last a while because I don't think the showgirl task is next week, but I think they're going to be a bit not. I don't think they're going to be as long as we thought they would.
The showgirl task is definitely Thailand. I'm not sure whether it's Phuket or Bangkok, because the next 2 legs are both Thailand.
It's got to be Bangkok though, right?
I suspect it'll be Bangkok purely because of the ladyboys.
We're going for the whole stereotypical thing now, so.
Yeah, but going back to Amazing Race 24, it looks like the producers have just opened up a Lonely Planet guide and gone, this is a stereotypical thing we can do in this country. Let's do it.
And it doesn't look fun at all. Let's do it even more.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they probably did that for 25, but at least they were fun about it.
I mean, it's looking like we're going to get a full moon party next week in Phuket, so, it's continuing the stereotypical thing.
A what?
A full moon party.
I've never heard of that.
You've never heard
Neither
of
have
it?
I.
Yeah. I'll Wikipedia description it. I think it's a pretty British thing, actually. The full moon party is an all-night beach party that originated in Thailand, where people just basically get pissed and have sex and drugs.
We have those here in Byron Bay. They're called Tuesday.
Woo! Yeah, you're Australian. Booze comes out of the water supply, doesn't it?
No, the water supply comes out of the booze.
Ah, right. Easy mistake to make. So, anything else to say?
It's like you don't know anything about our country.
Well, I have never been there, Ben. Like, I can make stereotypical statements about Canada having been there. Simples.
At least I had the business to visit London.
Yeah.
That one, a few years ago.
Yeah, London
You're
is...
expensive people.
Well, London's a exaggerated part of England. It's not proper England. Not like the north.
Oh god, you're from the north. That
I
makes
am.
sense.
I'm one of those dirty people.
North of the wall.
I'm north of the border. Is there anything else to say about this riveting episode? That we definitely
No, next week.
that we definitely didn't had to.
What kind of task would involve being tied to having restraints put on you and having to carry a tray of breakfast or a tray of something?
Well, it's
What would
zipline.
that
50 Shades of Grey?
Or given that
Current.
they're carrying the food, 50 Shades of Trey. I said 50 Shades of Trey, Ben.
Is this thing on?
yeah, it looks like they're going to be ziplining over Phuket, which is going to be fun for them.
No squatting elephants this time?
What the hell? Phuket.
I think we should just retire.
Yeah, let's
We
stop
can save
podcasting
up all of
forever.
our Amazing Race 14 jokes for next week.
Exactly. We no hiding bicycle pumps necessary.
Indeed.
So, thank you very much for watching and listening. You can join us next Sunday for yet another episode recap. If you enjoyed the show, and even if you didn't, like we didn't, please give us a like on YouTube. And if you want to see what we're rambling about this week, our Twitters are in the description below. And of course, I'm going to say it again. If you've not heard our interview that Logan and I did with Amazing Race Royalty Team Guido, I'll post a link in the description too. Thank you.
Dun dun dun
I'm a
dun
biggest
dun
fan
dun
right
dun dun.